Hey everybody, we're back in the studio. Shep doesn't have COVID again.
No, false alarm.
Stools are still not here. Sorry,
Poggers.
this is still kind of.
I'm wearing the glasses
We
again.
got the dogs in the studios. I think you guys can see him. He's down here.
I'm wearing the glasses again to annoy Tom.
Yeah, he is.
Yo, it's your boy Sweet Motherfucking Sauce.
There's a good amount to discuss.
Today's gonna be a fucking spicy one.
Lots of heated things we have to discuss.
And intense topics.
And yeah, they're not really intense. Like, they're not intense, but they could be the discussion itself can be intense because it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Thoughts. But let's start off with we'll kind of get through the racing stuff and then we'll go ham into that other stuff. We had Scott Dixon win pole for the first time in how long? It was 15 years.
I can't see anything. This is annoying me.
Yeah, good. And mind you, he's won like 3 out of the past 5 championships, and he hasn't won a pole.
I saw that.
That's insane.
My new
that
phone
just shows how good of a driver he actually is.
My new phone plan that I got on has ESPN.
Oh yeah.
So I got ESPN as long as I'm paying for the plan. So I'm getting all of these like alerts of shit that's going on.
Yeah.
I saw that one.
Now you'll be up to date on racing stuff. Okay. This one is kind of what I was most looking forward to discussing. And it's for Formula 1. Formula 1 had a pretty kind of chaotic weekend.
I saw that, and then I saw the rain out.
Oh, yeah. So Charles Leclerc puts down a heater of a lap, crashes after obtaining pole position, right? Or he put the fastest lap in qualifying down, crashes, stops the session.
Nice.
No one else is allowed to put down a lap time, even if they were faster or going to be faster or whatever. Like, they're showing that Verstappen was actually going to end up being faster. So before all this, this is obviously Saturday. So when Saturday happened, everyone's like, "Oh, that was planned." Like, this isn't the first time someone's crashed shortly after getting pole position, so no one else can beat them, and they get to start from pole, especially at Monaco, because Monaco
is a bitch to drive.
So Monaco's one of those tracks that you just can't pass on. There's no passing. Like, it's just, if you start from pole, you're pretty much gonna win. Pretty much. You know, obviously there's flukes here and there or whatever. But it's one of those races where pole position is actually meaningful for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
So that's there's a lot of people that don't like Monaco because of that, but it's also, Monaco is kind of like Talladega, I would imagine, for NASCAR. You would never get rid of it.
It's just a staple.
It's a staple of the thing. I don't want to say the Daytona 500 because that's like their big race. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess Monaco could be attached to that in a way. So while knowing that, do you think it was like me just telling you that right from you know nothing about what happened the next day? Do you think he did it on purpose?
I feel like it's easy to say, like, for somebody to say that he did.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I heard that Saturday, because I was down in Disney, I was at the parks, waiting in line, saw it, and I was like, "Oh, he did that on purpose."
Yeah.
That's a Ferrari move. That makes sense.
Because they also just have money to throw at shit that's broke.
But
too,
not anymore, because there's a cap. There's a money cap that you can spend on the car.
Oh, okay.
So damaging the car actually does.
Okay, so back before the cap, that would definitely make sense.
Yes. So everyone was like, "Ah, yeah, he fucking did it on purpose, whatever. Like, no big deal." Ferrari reassures everybody that his car looks okay. They got it fixed up, whatever, we're running. He goes out and does his morning lap that they do, like it's like a warm-up lap.
Yeah.
Car doesn't work. Can't start the race. Doesn't attempt the race. Gets pole position. Can't start from first. Didn't start the race. Didn't finish the race. Didn't even, like, he was just there. Ends up not racing. Whatever. Gets last place. Max Verstappen ends up winning.
So do they still know if it was done on purpose?
At that point, now, see, I was also in the mindset of maybe Ferrari pulled him because they realized how much flack they were about to get for crashing the car. But I don't think they would want, like, they're already hurting as it is, so I think they wouldn't have done that if it was on purpose.
Yeah.
Also, if it wasn't, see, okay, here's the thing. If it was on purpose, we still wouldn't really know because he was pulled either way because the car wasn't running.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because that they realized, oh, yeah, we did it, oopsie. Careful, man, the mirror's broken on that one.
Oh. There was a hole in here. I was surprised.
Oh, yeah.
Is that actually a thing?
Where?
In the fucking...
Yeah, the intake?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or not the intake. That's just for aero, I think, right?
Okay.
It might
anyway.
it might cool the back brakes. I don't know for sure.
Sorry. ADD moment.
So Max ends up winning, and now it makes the standings a little, like, it shakes it up because Lewis sucked. Lewis sucked this weekend.
Wow, usually somebody's sucking him off.
Yeah, right. He sucked this weekend. I think he probably blames the team strategy-wise, but he also just wasn't there. I don't think he was in it. So now Max leads the point standings, which is awesome. We love to see a little variety in our lives. And now Red Bull and Max are bringing the fight to Mercedes, which is cool. And then last thing about Formula One before we get to the NASCAR, and then we'll get into the picking the peoples and whatnot. There was a stop. All right. You've ever stripped a screw?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So there was a pit stop that happened where Valtteri Bottas pulls in.
Oh, I think I heard about this.
And they honestly could have contended with Valtteri, at least put on somewhat of an attempt, but the right front wheel nut was stripped. Became stripped. Like, the guy put it on, stripped it. Couldn't get it off. Race is done because he can't drive on that one bad tire. So, he gets out, whatever. So throughout the race, we're all like, damn, that sucks for him. Like, you don't want to see a driver go out on a stupid thing like that. And then his boss comes out and says that he did a bad pit stop. He stopped the car too early. And it very clearly shows that he didn't. If he did, it was like half a millimeter, and that would never have totally fucked him that way.
But what does stopping the car have to do with stripping the bolt? Or the nut, rather?
The guy doing the screwing was at just an angle to do that. No. When you slam it in there, it corrects itself on a flat. It's a flat rim. Like, you're still correcting yourself. I mean, I don't know for sure, but...
Well, you can get like, when you use a socket, you can get crooked on a nut. Like, it's possible.
Yeah.
But on something that big, it's big.
Yeah.
Like, it's not...
It's still... But to blame... Instead of blaming...
And it would slip off before it completely stripped it.
It's bullshit to blame the driver on that. Like...
Yeah.
He's got to... No, he can't be that precise all the time. Whatever. I mean, that's part of why he's paid, but...
He's not the one putting the fucking tire on.
But the guy moving it should have adjusted correctly. Make it a slower stop if you have to. They've done it before.
Yeah, like, I realize... Well, it doesn't even matter about speed, though. Because everybody does it fast, and they do it fine.
Right. No matter where they are positioned.
Yeah, so... If you went to do it fast and you fucked it up, you fucked it up.
Simple as that. Simple as that.
You have to really especially on one that's that big, to strip it. You have to fucking...
I mean, those guns are powerful.
I understand that, but you still
it's
have
all
to...
aluminum.
You still have to be on it, like, noticeably wrong.
Yeah.
Like, when you place the gun
I'll show you a picture after,
know...
but this nut was normally, like, this is like the edge
especially if it's aluminum.
This thing is like...
It's a goner, yeah.
Gone.
Yeah.
Shaved down to a triangle.
But, again, to do that, you have to, like, if you're doing this and that's what you do all the time, there's a feel to it.
Yeah. You know where you're sitting.
You know how it is, like, on the... So
I just thought it was bullshit that the team boss was going after the driver for that when it clearly is not his mistake, in my opinion. All right, so it rained in Coda.
Did they finish?
No,
they didn't. I
and
didn't think they did.
When I say rained, it downpoured.
You pissed too, because I think it was its second.
I was up there, and then the rain happened, and all of my drivers were destroyed. Destroyed.
Who came out and said that thought it was ridiculous that they even raced in that?
Kevin Harvick. So Kevin Harvick was like, that was the most unsafe I've ever been in a race car. Why? I don't know why we did that. I couldn't. And you saw the
I was second. I'm pissed.
The in-car footage of like what he saw. He couldn't see.
Yeah.
There was nothing, and then he just got drove through.
That's ridiculous.
Just clobbered by Bubba. I think it was Bubba clobbered him.
Bubba boy.
It was just. It was an insane race that should have never happened. Like, I get racing in the rain, but you can't race in that type of rain. That was like a tropical storm. You know what I mean? Like
the monsoon.
You can they're on road courses with wet tires, you can absolutely race in the rain. They obviously can't win on the slopes because they'll slide down on the slope of an oval track.
Yeah.
They'll slide down the track.
We've talked about NASCAR racing in the rain before on here.
But for them to race in that, delay it.
Yeah.
Put it to the next day if you have to. There's
no reason to force it. Why are you trying to force it?
No. What I saw, and there was a couple of things that were like, fans asked for racing in the rain. Why are you upset?
Okay.
Because there's racing in the rain, and then there's racing
and then there's dying. I mean.
Right. In non-visibility and having 4 of our drivers possibly die.
Well, even the other series that race in the rain wouldn't race in something like that, right?
No, they red flag it.
Yeah. So
they did it at Daytona. At the road course for the 24 hours.
Yeah, shut the fuck up with it.
Yeah, it was silly. That was the silliest race I ever got to like see clips of. I was still down Disney, balling out on Avatar.
Ooh.
So Josh Mullen commented on that and was like, "I'm not mad about the outcome of the race because Chase Elliott won. But why would they let people risk their lives all day? But when it finally gets close to being over, they just call it. That was abysmal." And I like to his point. It's. They drove through.
They did that.
They drove
too?
through. Yeah, they drove through that all day, and then they finally were just like, let's call it. And now, obviously, that's going to piss off everybody that isn't a Chase Elliott fan because, like, he was just handed a win.
Yeah,
he was. I mean, not that he wouldn't have probably won anyway because he's a good road course racer, but like,
still, that's some cheese.
Like it was the same. It was like that was how it was consistently throughout the entire race. The rain, like the visibility in the rain.
Yeah.
For you to wait that long to call it, bullshit. Because there's so many other people that
drumming up drama, dude,
lost out on that type of stuff. That goes back to the
accidents bring views.
That last couple of races that we were all like, Chase has NASCAR in his pocket. When we were like his team did the caution thing, so that he could come back, and then he ends up winning somehow.
Yeah,
whatever. It's bringing up some of those people. We're back. Chase Elliott has NASCAR in his pocket. He should not have won that race like that. In my opinion, they should have either ended it earlier, not even started it, let it dry up a little bit, or they should have let it play through because they would already had most of the race done.
But that takes us to an interesting trend that I've been seeing in sports.
What's that? Are we getting into LeBron here?
Yeah, because to me, it's kind of the same thing. If you have the face of a sport,
your calls go towards him.
You're going to suck his cock off to bring as many people into. And is Chase Elliott the face of NASCAR?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right now?
Well, actually, no. But honestly, Bubba is right now.
But
you guys can hate me for saying that. He is. He's in every single post. It's Bubba.
Right. But in terms of like,
but he is when they have like the
who's
I am
the guy
NASCAR,
that wins all the.
Yes, it's last year was Chase, but now Chase has been sucking this year. Not really sucking. He's just been kind of there.
So, but that's also like the point.
Him, Bubba, Blaney, and even Willie B are all like. There's probably like 7 of them that are in consistently every single commercial.
Yeah,
actually, I don't even think Blaney's been in one of them.
And to that point, is the league or the organization going to give him a little sucky suck to make the fans happy?
Who knows? They didn't do it for Dale.
Yeah,
when Dale was the face. Some bullshit.
It just is funny now that I've been focusing more on like, and it doesn't seem like the NFL does that, and it's always done that. It latches on to
Brady.
Yeah,
minus the whole Deflategate thing.
It latches on to certain players and then sticks to them like glue just to draw attention.
Yeah,
and that's and I fucking. It's gonna be a weekly segment for me at this point. At the rate that this shit's
hating
going.
on LeBron.
so it's this week's segment of Fuck You, LeBron James.
Okay, so this
Did
man,
anybody see that flop?
Well, there's 3 of them. This man, like, during that the foul, or what?
Well, it all started with the high ankle thing. He bitched about that.
I'll never be the same.
And then came back
and was fine
in the play-in championship shit and was like, he's fine now.
Yeah. Mind you, he'd also bitched about the play-in game, which was his fucking idea.
Yeah.
Because he was worried about being in the play-in game.
That's previous week's Bitch Fest, in case you missed it. Now we're caught up to this week. They played who? Who'd they play?
The Suns. Phoenix Suns.
And they got worked, first of all.
They did, but it's LeBron. He sucks at the first. He sucks first game anyway. Well, he doesn't suck. His team sucks. So is it him shooting the free throw, or is it Chris Paul shooting?
He shot it, and he went to go back and get it.
Right, and so Chris Paul, the guy who's like my height, comes in and boxes him out. The dude's 6'5". No.
Yeah.
So he like kind of.
It was a little aggressive, I guess.
A little bit, but nothing like you wouldn't have fallen from that.
But LeBron's also a big dude, so if you're undersized, you have to take measures, or else you're just going to get bullied. Like he's going to bully you.
So LeBron goes down and acts like it's the end of his.
He did
his
the
career.
biggest fucking like, and people are going to hate me for saying this, Kluge especially. Okay, but you have to admit soccer players are a little exaggerative. Like they.
Yeah. I think Kluge will admit that.
They do, and they've done it. I've seen punters do it in football too.
Oh,
where they do the fucking woo, and they throw the hands flop up, and they're like, yeah. So it's like that's what he did. Okay, and I remember looking at the clip because they were talking about the fight that happened after.
Okay, yeah, we'll go into that.
That was the big headline. Well, that was the big headline on my Instagram feeds, and then I kept looking at the video, and they were like, LeBron took a spill. First of all, what did he hit on the ground that he was holding? He acted like he was holding his shoulder. He might have knocked his elbow or hit his shoulder. But if you fall from, 2 feet, maybe, in the air?
It really wasn't high.
To the ground, and all of a sudden you're rolling in pain. Pussy. You get the stamp of the pussy.
It was obviously fake because he came back and played.
Yeah.
So when that happened, there was kind of a scuffle that happened shortly after that. Like the team was like, "No, fuck that, that's bullshit." And so the Lakers and Suns were chirping and going at it. LeBron, and then there's someone else fell and was hurt and rolling around, whatever. So LeBron walks over to that someone, realizing that the camera or the show wasn't on him anymore. Walks over and then flops again. No, that's bullshit. He's literally just searching for the attention, and I fucking hate it. This goes into a lot of other sports and some things that I can't say.
Yeah, it's not just the NBA. It's not just it's like I was saying before. It's the whole like you just the media is just sucking off the elites of the sport, and it's fucking. It's frustrating to see now. Like it's very like it's tolerable with the NFL, I guess, but even at that point it gets annoying. And the only reason why I bring up the NFL is because that's the sport I really follow the closest because that's what I played. But I don't even.
But even like it's not. I wouldn't say it's tolerable. Like my biggest thing is ESPN and like SportsCenter and that media channel, right? When I first followed them on like Instagram and like their shows and stuff, it wasn't always just these four same people every time you look through their thing.
Yeah.
So I'm scrolling through and it's LeBron scores a wicked three. Yeah, and it's just him scoring a three.
I literally saw
that shit's annoying.
From Fox Sports, ESPN, Bleacher, fucking SportsCenter, like all of those pages that I follow on Instagram, all had the same fucking thing.
Right.
And it was all, LeBron James scores the game-winning three-pointer.
After he's seeing 3 baskets for getting poked in the fucking eye.
That was another one, dude. Did you see the video of him like...
literally acting like his soul was being stripped from him.
Oh my god, he's such a pussy, dude.
No. I'm over that bullshit.
I think the last thing that really pissed me off with him, with this whole like thing over the weekend, is like they did the bullshit of him getting wiped out, and then later that game, it was either that game or a different one, I don't even remember. He helped somebody up, And then
He
that's
helped Chris
all
Paul
I
up.
fucking saw.
All right. So Chris Paul.
Oh my God,
After
I
his
saw
fall,
posts of like King. Oh fuck you. Oh, that's
True
teamwork.
sportsman.
Fuck off. Who you helped somebody up?
what they don't see is that Chris Paul, when that first happened, right? Chris Paul was like, okay, whatever. Here, I'll give you. Come on, hop up, let's go, and helped LeBron up to get up so that he would walk over and then flop again. He did it first, and they're like, fuck that guy. He hurt LeBron. That was dirty. No, that wasn't really that dirty. Everyone does it.
I
Get over yourselves.
want to talk to somebody that likes LeBron James, and I want to know why they like him.
Yeah, like what's
Seriously, because there's
what has
not
he
a thing
done?
that he does other than the fact that he's successful at the sport, but that doesn't even get talked about anymore.
We're not discrediting how good of a player he actually is, right?
Never once
he's a
have I talked
talented
about
man.
his
Same
skill
with
with basketball. Never once.
Yeah.
I have never argued the fact that he might be the best or is going to try to be the best or whatever.
Or is the best.
I've never
whatever, we
argued
don't
that
know.
at all.
Yeah.
His character fucking sucks. That's what I hate.
Yeah, he's a pussy.
I just don't like him as a person. Him as a basketball player, whatever. I just don't like him as a person. He's a bitch. And he's just starving for attention. And the media gives it to him.
Oh,
Sports Center and all that. Like, how many sports do you see that exist that somebody helps somebody up off the ground?
Every single one of them.
It happens 400 times in one fucking game.
The only one that you don't really see, and even then you still see it, is like UFC, like when you're beating the shit out of each other's face. But that's totally different. Like, you're trying to murder this man.
Yeah, and then they'll even come up after the fight and like,
Hey, nice
yeah,
work.
so
Boom,
like
nuts.
it happens. It's not like it's some new thing that happens.
No.
It happens all the fucking time.
It's called
There was
sportsmanship.
probably 4 or 5 people that got picked up off the court that fucking same game
Yeah.
that nobody said anything about. LeBron James did it. Ooh, let's fucking give him the reach around.
Yeah.
It's like I'm like, oh my God, steaming.
I have another thing I have to discuss too. Okay. All right. While we're on the topic of other sports, Julio Jones.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
getting heated.
All right. So Julio was called up by Shannon Sharp on Skip and Shannon, whatever
Yeah.
show that Undisputed, I think it is. Asked how he feels about Atlanta, whatever, and he's like, I don't want to be there. Mind you, not once was he ever told he was live on TV, which is illegal. One.
Yeah. Yeah.
Two, shitty. That's just a shitty thing to do. Because now you're stirring up stuff that he didn't want to stir up. Him and Atlanta were trying to handle this privately and figured out and trade him prior to prior to all of this coming out.
They tried doing that shit. I saw the Aaron Rodgers interview that he had last night or whatever.
With Kenny Mayne.
Yeah. It was kind of the same thing. He's like, well, what are you doing? And I mean, Aaron Rodgers is very good at, like, steering clear of just giving, like, little hints. Because, I mean, you can't say nothing.
Yeah.
Like, it's clear that you're upset with the organization.
Yes.
But it's nobody's business to why. So.
Right.
Yeah. Again, fucking
And I don't think
ESPN trying to fuck with people.
that was Kenny Mayne's last interview, so he was just like, I'm going ham. And he said, fuck you,
Yeah,
Aaron
I saw
Rodgers,
that.
and- but he was saying it because, as a joke.
It was, like, crypto related,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah.
And you know, that's just to me that's like the shittiest form of media, and I don't think he's even like responded to it yet because he knows how shitty it was for him to have to go through that.
Well, it's very...
And that's so not like to me, having Julio in the league. Julio's never been that type of a player.
No.
To complain or to...
No.
He might complain. You know,
and that's
they all
surprising of Shannon Sharp to do.
Because he was in a similar situation.
Relatively respectable, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know. It bodes well for everybody else, every other team in the league that wants him. Because now,
now they're all
get him
chomping
cheaper.
at the bit.
Yeah. Sucks for the Falcons and sucks for Julio because now he's made out to be a Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Wanting out of even if none of them actually, or well, we all know Deshaun wants to, but like Aaron is kind of like does he or not, whatever. But everybody who requests a trade, like he doesn't want to be put in that category of like a diva, a drama.
Well, yeah, he wants to be like he wants to go on good terms, and I can't say as a blame him, but now you've kind of forced his hand, and it's like,
yeah, it's garbage way to do that. All right, let's get into these two juicy things. I know. Okay, I want to do the Area 51 one first.
Oh, okay.
Because I know my answer.
I do too.
So, Shep sent me this picture.
I sent 2. I get them on my Explore page on Instagram.
Yeah. And it says, you see these lying on the floor at Area 51. Which one are you taking? And it's the Green Lantern ring. It's the Ben 10 Omnitrix. It's the Thor glove. It's the Golden
Infinity
Glove.
Gauntlet.
The Infinity Gauntlet, whatever. And then it's is that the ray gun? What is that? I don't know that one.
I don't know what that is either, to be honest.
Okay, it's a goop gun, looks like. I don't know.
I don't know what it's from.
But I wasn't even, it didn't even...
No.
That didn't even attach to any of my things.
No.
I had nothing to do with it.
No.
What are you going with?
Omnitrix.
Okay. Interesting. Why? Is that just because you grew up with that?
No, I really, the Infinity Gauntlet's kind of busted, but I don't think the ring, first of all, the Green Lantern ring is cool, and it definitely is powerful. I just don't know if it has... I also don't know if I know enough about it to...
Okay.
I just feel like the Omnitrix with all of what you can do with it...
So the Omnitrix is like millions of aliens that you get to...
Yeah,
right?
And
There's
essentially...
no set number.
No, and in its like master mode, like unlocked, you can
Yeah.
essentially just rotate between whichever one that you want.
Yeah.
Like there's no cooldown, there's no whatever,
And,
you know. And he's got
there's
the big
one for like
massive
every
one.
single
and they all have
situation
utility.
you'd ever need.
So I definitely think, I mean, it's a toss up between that and the Gauntlet, but I just think, still think
my thing about the Gauntlet, I wouldn't do the Gauntlet either. The Gauntlet, we all saw what it did once it's used. Destroys your body.
Yeah.
Makes you weak. And so you pretty much got like one shot with it.
And I don't know if there's ever been any instance of using all 5 stones to do anything other than
Kill
erase things.
everybody. Yeah. It's like...
They've each been used individually
and then
in
they
the
get
Gauntlet.
destroyed, right?
But, well...
Once you use them all together, then it get... Like,
no, he used it again to destroy the stones.
Oh, okay. So it wouldn't get undone.
Yeah.
I just think that's kind of a boring one.
You blow your load, I think, with the Gauntlet.
And it's like
because like I said, you could use each stone individually in the Gauntlet, but one stone is not powerful enough.
Yeah.
To do
so,
and all of them together, like you're saying, is very just one of.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm doing the ring.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
You can do anything you imagine with it. They say that like he literally creates trains out of this. He can create a fighter jet. He can create anything he needs in a particular situation. He can do. He needs a gun. Boom, gun. Needs a shield. Boom, shield.
What if it gets taken off though? Like, can't you just cut his finger off?
You can do that with the fucking Omnitrix too. Chop it off. Done.
I guess. True. That's interesting.
But they're essentially, to me, those are the same thing.
They're very similar.
But obviously, the difference is that with the ring you create whatever you want, and then with the Omnitrix,
I wish I knew
whatever.
kind of more about like what aliens he could transform into using the Omnitrix.
Yeah,
there might be one out there.
There's
the smart one. There's the Vine dude. There's the super tall one. I mean, you've seen all the ones from the show, but I wonder if there's some out there that are.
I think I just really like the Green Lantern as a whole.
No, I could see it though. I mean, they can do a lot.
Yeah. Those two, like the Omnitrix and the Green Lantern, the ring, are essential to me. They're
Very
the
similar.
same thing, done differently.
Yeah. Well, look at them.
Yeah.
Like they even look
right. Identical.
Yeah. Now it all comes down into like what you're going to talk about too, because like if you're talking about the Omnitrix as it stood in that picture, because the picture is the original Omnitrix that Ben used when he was a kid, and that one he only had access to 10 aliens, and there was a timer.
Right.
If it's that one from the picture, the ring gets it.
Yeah.
Because that one's not unlocked. That's not like the master mode.
If it's the full power,
yeah. If it's the full power one, it might be a little bit
different. That makes sense because you'll have a little more situational.
So
control.
I think maybe the picture is referring to that specific one. So if that's the case, I'll go with the ring myself too.
Sorry, before we get too far, I forgot that I sent you this picture.
Oh, there was another sports thing I forgot to talk about too. We're bouncing all over the place. It's all right.
So there's a really good tweet that says Kobe and Mike, referring to Jordan, try to convince you that they weren't injured when they were. Like they were.
I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
We got the next game's more important. Next game, we haven't won yet. whatever. Braun tries to convince you he's injured when he's very clearly not. And it was the one that spoke to us the most. Obviously, like, that's exactly how we feel. Where if you're actually injured and you're trying, you're not a bitch. You're on that court, or you're on the field, or you're on the mat, whatever. You're on there trying to continue. Like, how about the guy, the UFC guy who broke his leg, didn't realize it or whatever.
Yeah, that
like,
was
obviously
nuts.
he's in a excruciating amount of pain in his leg, because no matter how much adrenaline, it still fucking hurts. The dude stood up and was trying to fight still, and then he was like, fuck, going down. Braun just flops. Braun's a flop. Whatever.
Yeah.
What is your other sport thing?
The whole, remember the thing I sent you about the Triller?
The Jake Paul thing?
No, Triller trying to give Dana White money.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, again, Triller and the TikTok kids are fucking with Dana White, and one of these days he's gonna fucking snap, and he's gonna send every elite fighter their way and just fuck their world.
Yeah.
But I think he's doing a very good job at avoiding getting sucked into the bullshit. I do have to give him credit, because Triller pledged him $1 million to his charity of choosing if he okayed a fight between Oscar De La Hoya and George St. Pierre. Now, I don't know a lot about Oscar De La Hoya.
I don't either.
So he's a pretty well-renowned boxer. He's got like 11 world titles.
Are they boxing or are they fighting? I presume they're boxing.
Probably, because you can't take a boxer, and that's the thing. You can't put a boxer in an MMA ring.
Fight one of the greatest UFC fighters of all time.
George Rush St. Pierre is a fucking maniac.
Like, he's wild. He was like the face of UFC for the first 10 years. Until like McGregor showed up.
First of all, they're both pretty old now. So I mean, there's been a lot of stuff out there that says that it's too risky, and I tend to agree. I think it's too risky for De La Hoya, because fucking George St. Pierre doesn't care how old he is. He's going to kill you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he still tries to fight once in a while.
He doesn't have any limit. Like, he doesn't, like, if there's a man that you should be afraid of and not want to fight from the UFC,
the original
George
UFC,
St. Pierre.
The original UFC guy.
He's actually
him and
he's insane, and it's not
who's
just
the Mohawk guy.
Oh, Chuck Liddell.
Him and Chuck
Liddell
are like the first two UFC names that were stars.
Chuck Liddell's striking power. Well, see, that's the thing about George St. Pierre, too. Like, you can't put La Hoya in an MMA ring with St. Pierre, because St. Pierre is not just a striker.
No.
Like, his submissions are foul. Yeah. Like, he's actually just...
Right. Where
he's a well-rounded...
Whatever is literally just a puncher.
That's not even funny. Like, I don't know what Triller's trying to do. Yeah. Don't do that. No. Not because... Like, it's just not that is not funny.
But we've seen what
you got to stop the crossovers at a certain point, and that's the point you got to stop.
We've seen what the crossover does, and there's a lot of times when the UFC fighter. So, for instance, the Floyd and McGregor fight, McGregor was never stopped until the guy was down.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of times when Mayweather would just tuck in and hide, and then turn his back to him. And in boxing, they're not allowed to fight. You can't. You have to back off.
Yeah.
In UFC, they're like, "Fuck yeah, all right, let's go."
And there was times in that fight where he kept hitting him.
They're trained to continue.
Yeah.
And that's going to just
you're going to hurt somebody.
You're going to hurt somebody,
especially when you're pulling people out of retirement. When you pulled two ex-boxers out of retirement, Tyson and what's his fuck?
Oh shit, was it?
Isn't it? It's Roy Jones, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
When you pulled those two out of retirement, they're both boxers. They both boxed,
and they both said no hedge, no facial, or whatever it was.
And they're like, so, but you're literally pulling a very good boxer out of retirement against the best mixed martial artist of his weight class, because he also wasn't from. He was heavyweight, I think, wasn't he?
I don't remember.
So like it's very.
We'll say the best mixed martial artist of his
generation.
It's
very risky
because we don't know how he would fare against like the likes of Khabib and McGregor, but
those guys I think were lighter weight.
Well, I think
But-
Khabib's probably more his weight. 'Cause
Even then,
they're
like
short, but
Silva and those guys were pretty nuts too.
yeah.
So
Again, the only UFC fighter that they have fought has Ben Askren, who wasn't like the greatest, right? Not that we're giving excuses for
he was a
why he
grappler.
lost, but he was a grappler,
Yeah.
never really a fighter, and didn't want to be there. He didn't care, or he was just there to get paid.
He was getting the bag easily.
He didn't
you
care.
could tell. He didn't give a flying fuck.
Yeah, he's smiling after losing. No, that's not a competitor anymore.
No.
Like that's so for him to put them to continue to try and put people like St. Pierre into a fight. No.
And I think at some
Someone's-
point Dana knows this.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like Dana also is the guy that's he's definitely strikes me as the guy that's like don't like you're gonna regret what you wish for kind of person too.
Yeah.
But he also is responsible for the face of the sport. And how good would it look if he sent one of his elite fighters in against somebody who can't handle it, and then they get hurt or something,
or
like,
lose, and now the UFC doesn't seem as tough.
yeah.
And the thing that he built from
Or on the other side of
ground
it, they
zero
look
is-
like dickheads because they just assaulted fucking somebody. Like it was okay to put Askren in a ring because he was done with the UFC.
Yeah.
He was done like to put even that new guy that just won. I can't think of his name now. The guy that like challenged McGregor or whatever.
You're not talking about Poirier.
No.
Poirier.
Isn't he from like Africa or some?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name to save my life.
Yeah,
But he's like a superstar now.
yeah, he who is a current fighter in the organization, putting him against somebody who is a non-MMA person or even a non-fighter period, like the Paul brothers or something. You can't do shit like that.
No.
Like that's where we gotta draw the line and say, okay.
But like, because all they're doing is just asking non-boxers to box boxers or people who are training boxer-wise. Like, again, it's like asking someone who played baseball or football to go and play soccer.
Yeah.
And then making fun of them for being bad if they lose. Or,
And if you
whatever.
think for 5 seconds that somebody like St. Pierre is not going to go into that fight and say and not want his legacy to be remembered as him going into a crossover boxing match and losing, he's going to be out for blood.
Yeah.
Like, it's not funny. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and obviously we had this take when we thought Askren would be that same way, not realizing that he was just in it for the money.
yeah, there was
But
stuff underneath that I didn't realize, but yeah.
I can't see Pierre being that way.
No.
So I don't think it would be good for anybody.
No, I definitely don't think that's a good idea.
Okay, let's get into
The last one, yeah.
that's the last thing. Okay, you have so there's 9 people here. And you have to pick one of them. You know what, you can do it.
So you have to pick, what is it? Okay, one will protect you, the rest will attack you. Choose wisely.
So say 'em. Say 'em all.
I didn't even. I
Say
don't
'em
think
all.
I don't think I realized what.
No, I didn't either.
Holy shit, that's hard. Anyway, it's the bitch from Kill Bill. I don't know her name.
I also don't know.
John Wick, Affleck, Batman, Iron Man. Holy shit, it's Jason Bourne. Sarah Connor. What's his name from Django? What's his name?
I think it's Django.
Oh, okay. Luke Skywalker, and I don't know who that fucking dude is.
Okay, so that's the guy from 24. That's just an FBI agent.
Oh, he
so
can fuck off.
You axe him pretty quickly. I axe Sarah Connor pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Django pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So now it comes down
Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne done.
Yeah.
So here it comes down to John Wick, Ben Affleck, Batman, Iron Man, and Luke. That's my final 4. It comes down to because
Yeah, 'cause
Kill
the
Bill,
Kill
she
Bill-
can get shot in the face. Like,
yeah,
whatever.
she's a goner too. I didn't realize that the rest of them attack you.
Yeah, I also didn't either. I thought it was you pick.
Oh, I thought you just picked one.
Yeah. So, like, the reason I when he first sent me that, I was like, John Wick all day. Then I was like, oh, shit. Okay, here we go. John Wick can't. So I was like, John Wick is invincible. Like
I said Iron Man.
He hasn't died. But when you put it, like, when you actually look into this, like, you have Iron Man who can just drop a nuke on everybody.
Yeah, and I mean,
he pretty much has nukes in his hands.
The reason why I said
lasers.
Iron Man is especially over, like, because you could say Iron Man, Batman, the same thing. No, not really. Yes, they have money and they have technology, and that's why they're powerful. But Batman, at least to my knowledge, has never had access to it instantly. Tony Stark can get his suit seemingly out of nowhere.
Well, right. He has that nanotech shit.
Yeah, so, I mean, he can literally, if somebody starts attacking him, protect himself.
I mean, instantaneously.
Yeah, and he has, and so, I mean, that's why I said Stark, and then I was going to say Skywalker, but I feel like John Wick has a good chance against Skywalker because it's essentially a sword.
Yeah.
The only thing that's different is, like, the force powers are kind of tough.
Yeah. Like, as cool as, like, Jedi are, they're never going to win this, in my opinion.
No.
All they have is, like, force push and pull. And
yeah, and
like,
how many times can you push somebody over?
like, and, right, it's actually someone who's flying already. Like, he can fly. So I think John and Luke and Batman kind of fall off, but very below. Like, you got Iron Man. Those three are right underneath him, just barely. Just because of some of the features that they just don't have.
Definitely.
And then the rest suck.
Definitely would be difficult for him. He could beat the rest of them that blow, but I mean, it would be difficult for him to beat if they all attacked him.
Oh, no, right. Like, if you have John Wick, Batman, Jason Bourne, Sarah Connor, the guy from 24, Luke Skywalker, Django, and Kill Bill Girl coming at you, no way.
I still think he has it, but that's hard.
Yeah.
That's really difficult.
I guess he could just do his little laser thing. Whee!
Yeah, I mean,
he got rid of half of them right there.
Yeah, he could axe down, like...
You got rid of anybody who doesn't have a laser sword. Or Batman. Like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which sucks, because, like, I do want to say that John Wick, right? Because John Wick's
we watched him fall out of a building and walk away.
Well, Nick was saying, my brother said him, because he did that shit in the third movie where he went, like, invisible. But I was like, that was just, like, an illusion. He's not actually, like, traveling between dimensions. Like, he doesn't actually have, like, he is just a human, unfortunately. As much as I'd want to say him, because he's the best. I have to say Iron Man, I think, just for the sheer amount of resources.
It makes the most sense.
He could call the fucking Hulkbuster, too, if somebody fucks with him too bad. Like,
you're right.
Stomp. And
it's literally there, like, in a satellite shooting down to him.
Yeah, he just has too much technology.
Yeah.
Even more than, Batman. I don't know. I think
that instantaneous thing is probably the one that sets him above.
Yeah. Yeah, because if he had to use, like, the suit, any of the ones where he had to go to it, or like even the suitcase one, because he had to have it on him at all times, that would be kind of tough.
But
if you were to put
in the most recent,
it literally was.
And you have the.
He even had the little watch that turned into a hand when he was fighting somebody. So I mean, he's got access to it pretty much whenever. So
right.
Yeah, I think we're.
Yeah, I know, and I know.
If you got any other opinions about any of those,
like I know Luke has his laser sword that can cut, that would be able to cut Iron Man in half. Yeah. I get it, but I just don't. I can't.
I don't even think he's the best lightsaber user.
No, I feel like it'd be like Dooku or Vader.
Yeah,
or like even the Darth Sidious.
Yeah, like if you wanted to pit like. I realize that Luke's powerful, but I don't think in the movies, he was not portrayed as
kind of bitch.
Yeah, he was not portrayed as like super powerful. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Even like I feel like so you have Obi-Wan who's better.
Yeah,
Anakin's better.
Yeah,
Anakin's better younger.
Yeah, yeah. Like if you were to, so I don't think like Luke was never like that strong. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sucks. He's like my least favorite Star Wars character. Well, that's not true. I hate Finn and Rose. They're the most useless characters. Like well,
I don't like Rey either, but
Finn has at some points he has instances where his character makes sense and
I don't like him.
can be used. But Rose was never needed. She sucked.
She's just eye candy, dude.
All right, well, we've got
Horny.
very different tastes. Okay. Lastly, movies. What you got?
I've been watching my show since I've been working the overnight. This is gonna be quick. I gotta get going.
Yeah.
Attack on Titan. It's another anime.
Okay.
My favorite anime ever in the world.
Okay.
Best ever. Castlevania was good, but it wasn't even in my top, like, my top 3 were My Hero, Full Metal Alchemist, and Death Note. Attack on Titan blew them all out of the water. It's just so, because my thing, like, My Hero Academia was my number 1 for a while because the fight scenes, like, in the show makes you feel something.
Mm-hmm.
But there's especially in, like, this season and then the last one, there's these periods, like these lull periods where nothing happens in the show for like 10 episodes, and it's annoying, and it's because each season's 500 fucking episodes. Whereas this one's like, you got a season, it's 20 episodes, there's 4 seasons, that's it. Like, they're releasing the second half of their 4th and final season at the end of this year.
Okay.
And then they're done. And it's non-stop going, so fucking good, so good. 10 out of 10.
A 10.
Phenomenal.
A 10.
It's so good.
Interesting.
I've been binging it non-fucking stop. I got through 55 episodes in like a week.
Jesus, dude.
It's insane.
All right, I'm going with Active Valor. It's a Navy SEAL movie about stopping a terrorist cell that is trying to come up through Mexico. But they use like real Navy SEALs, like retired Navy SEALs, as the actors, so that they would have the most realistic engagements and movements throughout the scenes, and that in it alone makes it like a 9, because they're using real guys to actually show you the movements that they actually have to do and how they act and stuff. I mean, the acting isn't the greatest, obviously, because they're not actors. They're real warriors.
Yeah.
But the acting wasn't even bad. It's just like now it's real. Like, it feels more real, and you're like, oh, that's how they would act with each other. They'd bust each other's nuts and all whatever. So for me, that's like a 9.5. That's one of my favorite movies. Just I love the realism that comes with. Yes, there's obviously Hollywood is attached to it, so it's
just Hollywood isms.
Yeah, but it's realistic, and they allowed our guys that keep us safe and happy and healthy to come in and show what they deal with in their careers.
That had to be cool for them to do.
Yeah, right. Like,
yeah,
just to be like, this is how cool I am.
Be comfortable with like an actual. Because how many times do actual veterans watch war movies and be like, it's not accurate? You know, like
I think a lot of them go into being like, let's see what Hollywood does this time.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, that man's had 75 shots and hasn't reloaded once.
Yeah.
I think they're realists about it, and they realize that it's a movie, and I think a lot of people don't watch a lot of veterans won't watch the ones that they were a part of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if it's for instance,
the war.
Yeah, so like World War II veterans probably don't really watch a lot of movies that are based on World War II because they're fake as fuck.
Yeah, and
they're like,
it could be offensive
not,
to a point. Like,
not as intense. Like we had talked about Midway, at the end of the new Midway, when it talks about thanking like the Japanese sailor or men and women who died during like Pearl Harbor and during that war when they were attacking us.
Yeah.
And we talked about how that's kind of offensive for Americans because you're saying that,
especially ones that lived it.
Right. Like they were defending our country, and you're saying whatever they did, they were like, yes, they were the Japanese who attacked us were following orders from obviously their emperor, and like they were doing what they're paid to do, whatever. But there comes to a point in time when we do realize that they were the bad side.
Yeah.
Like they attacked us, and you're still giving them. So like where movies this goes back to where I was just a long way of me saying movies can be offensive towards the people that were actually a part of that, and not do them justice. So I think that's where Active Valor shined, is where it had the guys in it. Same with like Lone Survivor. Lone Survivor had Marcus Luttrell actually a part of the direction, actually a part of the movie, to show you what actually happened during their scenes. All right, get your tags. We still got them. Come get them. Let me know. Mike, I'm sorry. I know we're having a lot of issues with whatever. Like the mail coming to you is just not coming to you. I don't know. I've sent them out twice now. I've sent out. So I sent his first one out with like Daisy and. Oh, it's that. I was like, what the hell? With Daisy and Ross's, and they got them within 3 days, and Mike still hasn't gotten his. I sent his out the day before I left, and he still hasn't gotten his.
Jesus.
I don't know what the USPS is doing. They've had a rough year. We'll play it off as that.
Yeah.
And I'll send you a third one, and we'll just go from there. Maybe you'll have 3. Anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Thank you to our sponsors. I'm back from vacation, so streams are back. Let's get Cass. Stay healthy. Thank you all to our veterans and Military Month.
Fuck you, LeBron James.
Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Remember those who were not here to celebrate. We're here to remember those who fought for us. So thank you. Love you all. Bye.